Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to another installment of For the Fan, episode number 162. As always, I am Will, and we have Dom here. And that's it, just Dom. It's like we're back to our old ways back in September, but instead of sharing one little crappy Blue Yeti microphone it's in the rafters over here for me on a shelf, XLR microphones.
Yeah, actually, both of us. Yeah, how great. Good for us, man. We're closing in on
7 years.
8 years, no?
7 years.
2018 season?
Yeah. So okay, 7 years. Yeah.
7 years, man.
What a wild ride it's been. It's going to continue to be a wild ride. We got so much stuff going on here. Dom's been pulling clips all week. He's excited to show everyone what he saw, probably what he's bought on TikTok Shop. He's going to be doing that as well. He's excited. I'm excited. Dom, we're just going to get right into this, okay?
Sounds
you
good.
are listening to For the Fan.
You are listening to For the Fan.
And here we are. We're ready. AFC South time. This is not our favorite division, but yeah, we're going to try making this as quick and painless as humanly possible. I think is the appropriate term here. So thank God there's only two of us here having to break these down. So it won't be taking that long. Hopefully, maybe we'll be joined by Colton in a couple minutes, but we'll figure that out when the road there comes. But let's talk about the Tennessee Titans and the number one pick who has not been talked about for a very long time. Cam Ward, where a year ago in 2024, Brian Callahan leaves the Cincinnati Bengals. He goes down to Tennessee, becomes the head coach, the heir to the Vrabel era of Titans football. And it was just not a good era whatsoever. 3 wins, 3-14. The man on the screen right there is going to be the heir to the quarterback throne, maybe the heir to Titans football, where that is going to be something to figure out as we move forward. But the least talked about number one overall pick in Cam Ward looks to turn the tide and the page for the Tennessee Titans and second-year head coach Brian Callahan. As we shift into the offense here, boom. Oh, look at that. It's like a fireball. A lot of changes on this team. Listen, the quarterbacks were beaten up last year. Will Levis was, just ransacked. Everything was just not going right for the Titans. But Cameron Ward, my bad, number one pick, looks to turn the tide. They revamped the offensive line for the second consecutive year. Kevin Zeitler comes in from Detroit. They give Dan Moore Jr. a big money contract from the Steelers. 4 years, $88 million, $22 million per year. They revamped the receiving core once more, bringing in Tyler Lockett, who was released from Seattle after a very long tenure there. Van Jefferson after a brief stint with the Steelers. Calvin Ridley really is the one piece that's staying the same, and Jaquan Jackson, Bryce Oliver, but they do bring in 2 receivers in the 4th round this year. Chamir Dyke, if I said that correctly, and then Alec Aomanor. I'm just going to go with that. Tajay Spears had a sprained ankle in the first preseason game, so obviously there's not a whole lot of stuff going on with him as he's trying to get healthy and back for week number 1 for the Titans. And Dom, I want to bring this back over to us. What's your standouts here? I mean, expectations for Cam Ward entering the first year. Least talked about, man. Eric Fisher had more hype in 2013. Anyone that wasn't a quarterback that's been drafted, so much more talk. Walker from the Jaguars, who we'll talk about in a couple minutes, yeah.
I don't know, man. Apparently he's looked pretty decent, right? He has a preseason game under his belt now, right?
Yeah, played the Titans. I think 5 of 8 passing, so it was it was an okay showing.
Yeah, he didn't look bad. So okay. We'll get more as the sample size probably increases next preseason game, maybe. I don't know. We'll find out. I don't think it's like some of the quarterbacks we've seen drafted recently in some of the recent years high. Like it's not. I don't know. I really, after looking at this and like seeing all these dudes drafted right in this roster right here, right, I went and looked up the average age of every NFL team, and this is like the 7th oldest team. So that's kind of crazy to think about. Even after all this youth and these draft picks, this is still the 7th oldest team in the league. So
Tyler Lockett's up there in age. Dan
Yeah.
Moore, I think, is 28. Kevin Zeitler's 35. Van Jefferson, late 20s.
I don't know. It's tough because we've now covered more than half of the league, right?
Yes.
And a lot of that was like, hey, new situation on this team. It's kind of set up. They did a good job setting this up for a foundation to find out this for like a building year this year. And it'll seem like it's in a good place and get better for next year and find out more things. And I don't really know how to feel about this team, if I'm going to be honest with you. They went 3-14, like you said.
Last year, I did say the expectation of I don't know what the team could do last year going into 2024. It could be anything. It could be from a number 1 pick to a playoff team, maybe winning the division. Obviously, we struck gold on the 1 pick because, we laid every single scenario on the line. But I think Cam Ward's going into a good situation. Brian Callahan has been comparing him to Joe Burrow, especially in like the youthful years of Burrow. So ACL early on, he compared him to that. So he sees comparisons. Obviously, a experienced receiving core. Tyler Lockett obviously has caught balls from Russell Wilson, Geno Smith, so he's been around there. He's been around, guys like DK Metcalf, Doug Baldwin, Jimmy Graham for a little bit up there in Seattle. Then you have, a lot of youth on the offensive line that took J.C. Latham in the top 10 last year. Dan Moore, who honestly, he had an okay year last year, so paying them a lot of money is a little concerning for me. But Zeitler, he's still a proven starter. Devin, Lloyd Cushenberry, still a proven starter. I mean, they're kind of, I don't really know which way they're following, but, Tony Pollard, another year removed from that leg injury. So I think he's gaining the confidence back. Tajay Spears was expected to take a big leap this year. And also Chiga Kwankwo, I think he's going to be a nice deep threat there for fantasy football users moving forward. So there is some valuable pieces to look forward there. I think there might be some growing pains, but I think they might be in good hands with Callahan now.
Is Will Levis not on this team anymore?
He's on IR, so he's already out for the entire. He had that shoulder injury, against Miami last year, and yeah,
that's
so
wild.
obviously they don't have him on there. It doesn't take up a roster spot. They did cut Tim Boyle after his preseason performance, so, but Trevor Siemian takes over a QB3 role.
I don't know, man. It's tough because I don't think Tony Pollard did spectacular last year. So it's like I don't feel like their running game is like great. They can't really. I don't think it's something they just fall back on. I don't know. I feel like this is going to be a sub.
There's going to be growing pains with this team.
Yeah, I feel like it'll be a sub 6 win year still. I feel like it's. I feel like
Cam Ward's going to be playing with a chip on his shoulder, 100%.
Yeah.
Because like no one talks about him. It's always Travis Hunter, he went behind him. Jackson Dart, look at Jackson Dart. Like he's still not even talked about. Like I don't even know if a lot of these people are going to be in. I got Zulu in the chat here. He says Nashville, you are on the clock. Titans in 2025. A lot of crying emojis.
Yeah, I mean.
Oh, we got some comments too on YouTube.
What do we got?
We got Cam here. Buns. Cam Ward ain't anything special. He quit. The Pop-Tart's actually on my thing right there. I still haven't put it away from Steve's, but we'll be joining. Oh, no, it's Jake. Why did I say Cam? That's my bad.
Well, I mean, both Philly fans. So
both Philly fans. A lot of Philly. Go Birds. Shall we move over to the defensive side of the football?
Yeah, real fast. Nick Foles, the offensive coordinator of this team. I don't know his resume at all. Does he have much of a resume?
Which person? I'm sorry. I just read a TikTok comment and it just really threw me off here. I'm not even going to read it out loud.
I mean, I tell you what. So the offensive coordinator for this team, Nick Holes, it doesn't have a very exciting resume. Actually, dare I say, doesn't really have that good of a resume. I don't know. This is tough, man.
It's a growing pain. It's a growing pains on offense.
I have
will
a
be
hard
a growing
time.
pain.
I have a hard time having a lot of hope for this team and this offense and saying that they will be improved and know their future after this year. So that's tough season. Tough season. But yeah, let's get to the defense.
Let's go to the defensive side here where, yeah, a lot of stuff went down last year. Defense didn't really look all that good. So Xavier Woods, the former Cowboy safety, Carolina Panther safety, he comes in. L'Jarius Sneed, I mean, yeah, he was traded like 2 years ago, so that's not really a whole lot of stuff to talk about. But Draymond Jones from the Seahawks, Cody Barton, Jihad Ward from the Vikings. If you remember the infamous Hard Knocks clip of him telling him, Aaron Rodgers, I don't even know who you are, bro. I don't know who you are, bro. Funny. Timmy Horn from the Giants, Carlos Watkins. But I think you got to highlight the defensive front there with Sebastian Joseph Day, Tavion Sweat, Devondre Sweat, my bad, Jeffrey Simmons, and Arden Key. Another year with the same rotation there, I think it could be pretty good for the Titans, at least having consistency there for the defensive front. But Jarvis Brownlee Jr., he was making some sound waves at corner last year. Roger McCreary, I think he's going to have a really good year this year, contract year, so expect him to make a lot of noise. And they also re-signed Quandre Diggs right before training camp, or really early in the training camp. But yeah, obviously this defense, I think, might be in the middle of the road, maybe a little bit less the middle of the road. But I think this defensive front, if there could be anything that goes on, the defensive front's going to be causing a lot of disruptions for whoever they're going to be facing. But veteran guy like Jeffrey Simmons, who's been at all, the bad, the ugly, all the way to the AFC Championship game, to the lows of, Vrabel, and last year, he's been on both sides of that spectrum there. So,
well,
yeah.
I mean, I tell you what, the Titans allowed the second to least average yards per game last year. So, there's that. They did allow quite a bit of touchdowns, actually some of the most touchdowns in the league. So, despite the yards not being much, they allowed a lot of touchdowns. I don't know. Yeah, I can't imagine.
It's a growing pains team.
I really don't know how this team will be any better than last year.
And they also rotated out their GM. They brought in a new GM. So it's the GM that was before them fired him. He wanted his own guy. The GM then gets fired. So it's like, I don't know. At one point, it was exciting to watch Titans football. And now it's kind of like, what's going to be going on here?
At one point, you're not wrong. I don't even. All right. I mean, this defensive coordinator is much better. He's actually been a coach on actually some great defensive teams. So, okay. I don't know.
Let's go to the schedule.
Yeah, dude. This is
we can figure out a little bit more there. But the late window is the debut of Cam Ward as they go into Denver. They have 4 late window games. No Thursday Night Football this year, I do not believe. I skimmed it pretty quickly. So, yeah. I don't know. It's tough, man. I can at a high 6. And I think it's a generous 6. 3-14 and 20-24. So it's a lot of growing pains there for the Titans.
I mean, I've 4 wins going into the bye, 4 or 5 wins going into the bye max. And then after the bye, I can really only squeeze out Yeah. I mean,
I
like
think
6
it's a
or
stack.
7 wins is like hopeful as hell.
Yeah.
So it tough season, man. I don't really know. I don't know. And the question is, what makes this team successful after this year? I don't really know. I guess
I think this is their last year in their stadium. So why don't you just have the stadium go out with a bang and, just build something new for the new stadium? Stadium's not even that old. It's like 25 years old, and it's somehow falling apart more than like half of these other stadiums.
it, I guess you just kind of play this year out, man. Get some experience under the belt of Cam Ward. I guess that's got to be your future quarterback, right? So get
Yeah.
some experience under Cam Ward. Um, hope
It's tough.
that he
It's
can
so tough.
win a tough game or two, and you go into the next off season. I guess if this is your last season in the stadium, I guess you try to kind of
Go out with a bang.
it might be a good rebranding, retooling time for the team top to bottom into next season. Like that might be cool.
Yeah. I got nothing else. Just go out with a bang. Send Nissan Stadium. Well, Nissan Senior out with a bang so Nissan Junior can start winning.
Yeah. It's the best you got.
All right, let's move on here. Let's go down to
Duval.
We're gonna have to do it, Don. We're gonna be going back on camera to say it. But a year ago, the the Jaguars, really fell apart. End of 2023. At one point, where the 1 seed collapsed last year, it really wasn't that good. Doug Peterson ends up getting fired. Trevor Lawrence got hurt. Mac Jones saw it. There were some bright spots. There were a lot of bright spots on this team, but obviously a lot of negative outweighed the good. The Jaguars end up trading up 3 spots and a future first-round pick to acquire the Heisman Trophy winner and Travis Hunter, the two-way player who's trying to be the first two-way player since all the way back in the 60s, where a lot of these players are playing two-way. And he's looking to turn the tide with Liam Cohen at the helm.
Duval.
Got to do it, Dom. Come on. You got to do it.
Duval.
Got to do the eyebrow in the entire thing there.
Oh,
All right, let's go into the offense here. Trevor Lawrence, healthy supposedly, so that's good, coming off of a very bad hit from Azeez Al-Shire against the Texans late into the season last year. But they bring in Nick Mullins, who is a veteran that's been all around the world throwing everything. Four-headed running back monster. Apparently, these guys are all going to be getting reps at one point. So, yep, pick your poison, which running back you want to face, whether it's Etienne, Tank Bigsby, Bishol Tootin, and then LaQuint Allen Jr. They revamped the entire receiving core. Gabe Davis no longer there. Devin Duvernay no longer there. They bring in Diami Brown from the Washington Commanders. Trenton Irwin, who's been kind of floating around since the Bengals have cut him a couple seasons ago. Travis Hunter now listed as the slot guy. Didn't have the most positive introduction to the league, but he's looking to make some sound waves. They do revamp the offensive line just a little bit. Patrick McCary from Baltimore, and then Robert Hansey from the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. With also some other depth pieces as well. They do trade away Cam Robinson last season to the Vikings, who now has become back in the division there. Dom, is there hope for this offense? Do you have any hope? New tight end room. Evan Ingram no longer there. He's up in Denver. But Brenton Strange, tight end 1, and then Johnny Munt, Hunter Long, who was in that Jalen Ramsey trade, Quentin Morris, who had a little bit of sound waves with Buffalo.
I don't know, dude. It's I'd like to say it looks like they have a decent roster to work with every season now, and then they kind of fall a little bit on their face at times. I mean, Trevor Lawrence has only had like one really solid extended run in his career, and that didn't really result in too much anyway.
He had a
their running
20,
game's
27-point comeback, then unfortunately lost against the Chiefs with Mahomes' injury. So,
yeah, I like their running game's good. That's cool.
I don't know. I'm over the ETN experience.
Are
Tank
you?
Bigsby was good last year. I'm over it. It's whatever. Like Tank Bigsby was really cool, but now it's like you're gonna get these other guys in, rotating them through, and it's like, okay, like you could trade away ETN. You have a little bit of value there. You could acquire some draft capital because obviously I don't think they're gonna be resigning him.
Yeah, go out and get James Cook or something cool, dude. Do something.
Oh,
sick.
James Cook got re-signed. He's good.
Oh, we finally did.
Dude, you were sleeping
that
when this
news?
stuff happened. I was awake. I'm the night owl of the group.
That's
Saw
crazy.
that. No, I'm just saying, like, trade him away, get some assets. I know the Cowboys are apparently looking for a running back. You could maybe trade him up to the Vikings if they have any draft capital left. I think they only got like a 1 and a 5 coming up this year. But find some draft capital for, ETN, and then just go with the guys that you're paying, pennies on the dollar for.
This is like the most average team ever every year. Like it's just mid. Like the Trevor Lawrence thing is crazy because you're like, hey, there's this raw talent dude with the hair who looks like a freaking superhero, and then they just like don't really do anything exciting ever. I don't know, dude. Again, the running game is good. That's fine. Tank Bigsby's good. ETN's been good when he's been good. Like, but that's not winning you games. And the people that should be winning you games really aren't doing it either that much. It's just average as hell. It's not an exciting experiment or experience for Jacksonville. So, like, I don't know. There's a lot of names on here.
I got nothing.
Maybe
else
the
in this
Travis
call.
Hunter thing. Maybe the Travis Hunter thing like adds some excitement. Maybe.
I think it's exciting. Like, okay, we haven't seen a guy play like two ways. Like, yeah, you had Edelman do it with the Patriots a little bit, but like also Edelman's trying to find ways to make the team. He was playing linebacker and all that stuff, corner a little bit, goes to the offense, plays a little bit of offense.
Receiver.
Yeah, receiver.
Punt returner, yeah.
Quarterback.
I don't know, dude, whatever. Well, I can't imagine we see really anything different out of this team and this offense. That's the hard part to say. Like, this is a lot of changes, a lot of stuff on here, a lot of different colors you're seeing on the screen. I don't know if it equates to really much of anything. Maybe you get a play or two out of Travis Hunter sometimes, and that's sick, but that might be it. Like, it still might not equate to wins.
Mm-hmm.
So, I don't know, dude.
Let's shift over to the defensive side of the ball here, where look at that. Travis Hunter, their first round pick, cornerback. He's doing it all over the place. It was like we just talked about him on offense. But yeah, defense, it really wasn't that spectacular last year. They bring in Eric Murray from the Texans, Jordan Lewis from the Cowboys. Dwan Smoot returns after a very long hiatus. Manuel Agba from just from South Beach. He went all the way up. I mean, yeah, I'm trying to get excited for this team, and it's just kind of like hard for me. Like, you bring in Dennis Gardick, and he was fun on the Cardinals. He obviously didn't really pan out for them the last like 2 years, but he was fun like early on. He really made a lot of sound waves with him and Zach Allen. Then Zach Allen moves on, and yeah, they have a lot of like in-house pieces. Devon Hamilton, Travion Walker, Josh Hines Allen, Devin Lloyd. Like, they have a lot of pieces that stay in-house. Like Darnell Savage, he came in, he was making a little bit of good plays last year. It's just hard for me trying to get excited for this team. I'm trying.
So this defense was the 31st last year in yards per game allowed. They were somewhere halfway, like somewhere in the back 16 of touchdowns allowed. So this wasn't that good of a defense either. Like you said, it's so difficult to get excited.
Like, I don't want to offend Jaguars fans. I really don't, but I just can't get excited. I own a Blake Bortles jersey behind me. I own one, okay? I own the boat, the greatest quarterback to ever play for the Jaguars, okay? But it's just so difficult. It's just really difficult for me to get excited for the Jaguars.
This is the fucking I usually don't care.
Like there could be a world where this team could finish last and the Titans finish third. I'm trying to get excited. Obviously, you know, we've had weird head coaching hires like Dan Campbell. Like we're gonna rip a femur off, we're gonna gnaw on their kneecaps, bite it off, and look at that, he turned around. Maybe Liam Cohen with the weird. Come on,
Duval.
you know, maybe the weird tick works and he can turn the tides and be a great head coach. Like, listen, the Buccaneers go through freaking, I don't know, offensive coordinators like it is a revolving door. Like, there's always someone in it and they always get shot out. There's always someone in the helm there for them to go through. So, obviously, hey, if you're a Buccaneers offensive coordinator, you're guaranteed a coaching job within a season. So, we have that. But obviously, this is the Jaguars. I'm kind of done with this. I want to move on to the schedule. This is my favorite looking schedule that I've found so far because it's actually like detailed, it's in depth, everything home and away, even though there's the old logos and new logos and this and that.
It's not
Yada, yada,
exciting
yada.
per se, though.
I got off some like news site, so
Cool.
it's not like the actual Jaguars like posting this. It was like, you know, this actually looks not half bad. But the season does open up against the Panthers for whatever reason. Every couple of years, it's always the Panthers and the Jaguars opening up the season, either at, depending on whoever's home opener there is. But yeah, I'm just.
Oh my god, dude!
I'm just. It's so difficult for me to get excited. It sucks. Like, before they go to London, I think they can pull off maybe 1 or 2 wins. And that's they could start out 2-0, but then they could fall 2-5. I just, you know, you don't know what you're going to get in the Panthers. Panthers obviously finished hot last year. Like, that was great for them. I don't know what you're going to get. Can the hot streak continue for them? Will the Bengals be slumpy, or are they going to be playing the entire preseason to get their heads out their asses? You don't really know what's going to be going on there with Zach Taylor. And then you got the Texans. They obviously play really hard against the Niners. I don't know. You don't know what you're going to get with the Niners this year. And it's the Chiefs. I think they got the Chiefs at home at least, so that's a pretty good one. And then the Seahawks, and they go to London. I can't get excited for this schedule. I really can't.
I have a hard time trying to give them 6 wins.
I have a tough time giving them anything more than like 4 wins.
I know.
They could probably go 2-0 to start the season and then win their last 2 games. Like, that's what I think could happen.
I don't know. I mean, a bye week and then the Raiders, maybe they could win.
I don't know. Raiders on the road. I mean, they did play them well last year. I don't remember that game because it was like Mac Jones and I don't even know. Desmond Ridder, I think, was the quarterback. So it was just like, yeah, let's just turn it off. Let's, it's enough football for the day.
The one thing with this team is you need something to get excited about, dude. You need a head coach that comes in, an OC, whatever, just something that makes this team play exciting football. There's nothing that I look forward to on the schedule for this team. It's not like a new quarterback. It's just the middest quarterback in the league. That's just, is he going to play bad? Not always. He'll play pretty good. Will he be so spectacular? It's must-watch football? Like, never. I don't know, dude. Whatever. Like you said, I think the best way to put this is this really could be
I think there is a chance
the worst team in the league. I mean, well, shit.
They could be competing.
This could be the losing team in the division. It's really tough. What makes this a good? And that's the thing.
What
too.
makes it successful is, I don't know, some sparks. Prove me wrong. That will make it successful. Here, I will go back and rewatch this and be like, okay, I was wrong. Prove me wrong. That's what's going to make the season successful.
Yeah,
I don't want to be offending to Jaguars fans, but like, I just can't get excited.
This being a successful season is like pushing towards playoffs because everything else is a step backwards. I don't really know. Whatever.
Unproven head coach. Like, you just kind of all this stuff. It's like,
yeah.
It's like, yeah. All right, let's. I usually want to talk about like hyping the teams up and all that stuff, but obviously you got to mention, Jim Irsay passing away right before Memorial Day, right after the spring league meetings for the NFL. Very tough, just very tough for Colts fans and just the NFL in general. Like he was a larger than life person. Obviously, he lived a life, and that's the best thing you could say about him. So obviously, with him bringing the Colts to Indianapolis, making Indianapolis a football town, the whole 10 yards. And, I don't really know what the right words are to say for the Colts, but yeah, it's a very tough break for the Colts. Obviously, his daughters are taking over the ownership, all three of them. So they're going to be trying to turn the tide to the football realm, which they've been trying to turn. They've been trying to find that guy, that piece ever since Andrew Luck retired. So obviously the two people pictured here, Anthony Richardson and Daniel Jones, are looking to become a quarterback one in some realm, some way, shape, or form for the Indianapolis Colts. As we head into the offense here, a lot of just there's not really a whole lot of change here, but obviously the quarterback battle, Daniel Jones, Anthony Richardson. Daniel Jones is supposed to play the second week of the preseason, like a quarter and a half, but with Anthony Richardson's injury, he's now starting, and obviously it's cutting down the time. So it's a lot of questions here. Let me get back out here, Dom. I got a Colts fan page saying 11-6 with Anthony Richardson.
Like,
let me finish my spiel really quick here. But obviously, they get the best tight end in the draft, Tyler Warren. Obviously, there is no way, shape, or form he should have fell to them. The Bears are stupid to take Loveland over him, so he's going to have an eruption of the year. Jonathan Goodwin, yeah, Jonathan Taylor. My bad. Yeah, he's still a stud. They ended up losing their center and their right guard. They both held hands and went up to Minnesota to be on the Vikings. They really didn't go after all that much. Bernard Raymond got a big money extension, 4 years and $100 million. So $25 million a year, middle of the road. It's not that much. But yeah, obviously the thing of the Indianapolis Colts is the quarterback battle here between Anthony Richardson and Daniel Jones.
Yeah, I mean, also this team is built around this run game with Jonathan Taylor. Honestly, I've loved Khalil Herbert, so that's cool.
Is that your guy right there, DJ Giddens?
Giddens, yeah, K-State. Like this is cool. It's the team that we saw last year, actually. Except like Anthony Richardson goes down because historically he will. And I don't really think Daniel Jones is the worst option. I think he's a competent quarterback.
He looked good. He looked good against the Ravens. He didn't look bad at all. Like
I don't think he's that bad.
There's a lot of pieces here. There really is. Like,
yeah, this is like not a bad team, dude. This is a contesting team. Jonathan Taylor makes this a contesting team. The offensive line is cool.
7-10 with Indiana Jones. I think we were joking about that back in March. Oh, Indiana Jones. 1 year, $16 million deal. So, like, obviously, he's trying to compete and be a starter again. The Richardson experience obviously hasn't. What?
Is he still making that Giants money?
Oh, yeah. Like, he has a little bit of money that was left over because the Giants cut him before the end of the season. So,
wow.
Yeah, it's a little bit. It's not like a whole lot. It was no money after the second year. So,
like, dude,
I think you were more successful with Daniel Jones in their center than you are Anthony Richardson.
Mitchell's a great receiver too. Like they have, and he's young. They have people on this team, man. This is like really not a bad built team. Jonathan Taylor can take a lot of snaps too, like, and execute. You see those big runs that he gets and explodes for like once or twice a game, even. Consistently is one of the best rushers in the league. This is not a bad team. This is a team that I think does contest playoffs. Yeah,
I agree with you, Colts fan. 10-7 with Riley Leonard at quarterback. Here we go. Now this is a man. Now this is a man who knows sports.
He's a 7-10 with Indiana Jones.
Yeah.
Okay. Well,
What about Jason Bean here? Can they bring 4 quarterbacks into the roster? Jason Bean,
facts.
obviously I want a jersey of that, just Bean. Why is he wearing 12? Oh, that's a disrespectful to Andrew Luck.
Tell you what, that picture that I'm just gonna throw it right back. This picture just makes him look like Ryan Tannehill with that number 17. I don't know why. All I see is Ryan Tannehill standing in the back.
17-0 with Jason Bean. See, this man knows ball. This man is a sports enthusiast. He has all the knowledge in the world. Let's go into the defense here. Where, there we go. The cornerbacks, the safeties, the defensive backs. It's been brutal the last couple of years for them. Obviously, depth has always been an issue, especially the last couple of years. But they bring in Travarius Ward from the 49ers. They bring in one of the best celebration people in Cam Bynum, who just playmaker all around with this last couple of years with the Minnesota Vikings. But hey, Kenny Moore, he got that nice little extension there, $10 million. He's due for another payday coming up soon. Juju Bentz, he's still making his way around. Nick Cross, also another dog. Go Terps. Rodney Thomas, still Jalen Jones. They bring in Eric Johnson II back in. I don't even know. And then Neville Gallimore from the Rams. But I think what's really strengthful for this team, just like I said with the Tennessee Titans, it's that front core. It's those guys who are going to get after the quarterback. Kwity Paye, Grover Street, DeForest Buckner, Liatu Latu. These guys being there for another year, I think really can be the cement, the glue to this defense and get, kind of everyone on page. Like, these guys could do their job and they could go after the quarterback. It's just, what about the other 7 guys, the other 8 guys, depending on what scheme you want to be going? You're going to have 3 going and 4 going. And like, who are those guys going to be that could stop the football if it's passed over these guys? As what the Colts fans said, one of the best defensive lines in the league. And I have to agree, like, this is a very good defensive front.
Yeah. I mean, it really is. It's been consistently pretty solid year to year too, because a lot of these guys have been here. No?
Yeah, Grover Street's been there.
Yeah.
He's been there from the highs of the Andrew Luck times to the lows of like Jacoby Brissett and just like all like the miserableness going on there. Zaire Franklin's still there. Like, you have people that have been there from the highs and they've been there for the lows. Like,
yeah, it is a good.
I still think they could make another move to get more depth in the cornerback spot, because it just seems like by week 7, it's like 4 active corners, 5 active corners. And it's like, obviously, you're not going to be rotating through corners. Obviously, if you want to be on the field, you're going to be, out there on the field, you're going to play exhausted, but it's like injuries really have piled up especially in that secondary for the last couple of years.
Yeah. I mean, I still don't think it's too bad either though. This is maybe the weakest spot on the team. And that's not too bad. It's solid. I mean, it's a solid team. I didn't do that well last year, actually.
No, I wasn't really I started them week 17 thinking, I could win, the championship. -8 points to the New York Giants with Drew Lock. Are you kidding me?
Yeah, it's kind of rough.
That was terrible. All right. Schedule time. Big one, week 1. Obviously, a healthy Tua is going to be pretty good there for the Dolphins, but also the Colts. How are they going to fare? Then obviously the Broncos come into town week 2. A lot of back and forth, a lot of 2-2, and then 1-1-1, and then 2-2, 1-1-1, like all that stuff. 26-20, Colts win week 1. I could honestly go with it. But man, I don't know. I think they could get up. It really falls on the quarterback spot. It really is. It's like, okay, who are you going to have there at quarterback? Is it going to be Daniel Jones? Is it going to be Anthony Richardson? Going to be a wild card in Riley Leonard? You get to go to Germany. It's cool. Like, I consider it a primetime game. You have another primetime game with the 49ers unless it gets flexed out for whatever reason. But a lot of 4 o'clocks, a lot of 4:25 games.
Yeah, I'm sitting around 8 or 9, maybe.
I'm saying 9.5.
Okay. We didn't look at the sportsbook stuff for the other two teams either.
Well, we just got to start with this team. We're way past them. We got to start out
Well,
with this team.
I will say Tennessee, they have them where we said. They do have the Jags just miraculously with 8 wins. So there's that. I'll take the under on that, like 24-7. And then they have the Colts at like 7.5-ish wins.
The number will change it once here's your quarterback one for week 1. Like obviously that number will change. But it's so hard to figure it out because like Anthony Richardson has such raw talent, runner, he could throw the football, but it's just like using his head, just all that stuff, just kind of like so tough to figure out. Like they had success with Minshew a couple years ago. I'm surprised they didn't try bringing him back. They were a 4th down away from potentially going to the playoffs and hosting a playoff game, which they haven't been to the playoffs since Andrew Luck in his last year starting.
They've really been in quarterback hell since Andrew Luck retired.
I don't think it's quarterback hell. It's quarterback purgatory.
Yeah, kind of. You're right.
Colts fan here. Breaking news. 3-14 Titans, 6-11 Texans, 9-8 Jags, and 11. How do you have the? I'm not even mad that you have the Texans that low, but the Jags at 9-8. What are you doing? That's what I'm more mad about.
And again, we have this division that barely even sneaks into the playoffs, and it sucks. No one wants to watch it. I don't know. This team's more exciting than the other teams that we've talked about so far. So, I like.
There's more hope with this team.
Much more.
At 8-9 last year, they can obviously turn the tide.
It's more watchable. And I would say that the offense improved from last year, and the defense didn't really change. So that kind of to me says hey, maybe we can have a 9-win season, sneak into that 7th spot, maybe.
I think they could be a sneak. This could be a team that you can be okay, hey, they could sneak in. I think you and I picked them as that little 7th seed. Hey, they could hover in.
That would be a successful season to me. They sneak in playoffs. That would be, or at least just push up until week 18. You do that, and I'm like, all right, this team's competing. They're there. They kind of should be. This is a good offense. They have people on this offense. They have good weapons. Jonathan Taylor. He didn't play till week six last year, right?
I think it was week 5.
Week 5, whatever. Sick draft pick by me. Thank you.
What? He had that injury or whatever?
No, he wasn't holding out?
No, I think it was an injury because he held out in training camp. Then he got his money and all that stuff.
Then maybe.
I think it could have been a PUP thing.
Maybe. No, wait. Are you sure it wasn't holding out?
I don't think it was holding out.
Huh.
I think he might have had a weird injury or whatever in training camp, but it was minor, but they wanted to hold him out just to be sure.
I mean, either way, whatever.
No, what was that 2 years ago? Zach Moss had that was 2023.
I want to say the Jonathan Taylor thing was a holdout situation. But either way, he plays from week 1 this season. This is a competitive team. You can't just discount this team and say, it's AFC South, whatever, no one cares. I think this is a competitive team no matter either of the quarterbacks that are in. If Anthony Richardson is in, he is still an explosive quarterback. You see the deep balls that he's hit. You see when he does run, he's substantial. He's a substantially good runner. Gets the ball in the end zone. It's not an impossible thing. But yeah, and if Daniel Jones is in, you're going to see, I think, decently consistent play. There's weapons on this team, an offensive line that'll actually keep him up for a majority of the time this time, and a running game. So, I don't know. Yeah, it's a consistently solid team. It's a competitive team.
What will make this team successful, though?
Like I said, I think just pushing to playoffs week 18 or making it in as that 7th seed, whatever, making it in playoffs, I think is all you can really ask for. And I think that's all right, cool, sick, good season. We build. I'm okay with that.
Colts fan dropped it. Says AR5, 3,000 passing yards, 300 rushing yards, 29 passing touchdowns, 19 interceptions with 6 rushing touchdowns.
That was kind of a realistic stat line.
He could do that, but it's what's going to make this team successful is just finding the quarterback. Like Steichen's chair is getting hot. It's hot.
Yeah.
I wouldn't be surprised if he could be the first coach out. Like it's hot. Like there's just not been anything there. So yeah, that's what I have going on there. You want to get the wheel ready and we can
The wheel's ready.
we need 100 slices on there, Dom.
Oh, is that?
I want 100. I want 50 of each thing. I don't want to see where this thing's landing on until it pops up on the screen.
All right, deal.
So while you're doing that, I will adjust us for this and I will click that. So the Houston Texans a year ago, they bring in Stephon Diggs. They have all these exciting pieces. Nico Collins and the CJ Stroud experience. Great connection. Tank Dell is also exploding onto the scene. They bring in Joe Mixon. They have all these good pieces. It was a very weird season for the Houston Texans, to say the least. A lot of ups and downs. They squeezed into the playoffs, though. Number 4 seed, AFC South champions, winning their game against, I don't even know who they faced in the playoffs. Now I'm drawing a blank. Do you remember? So it's Steelers, Broncos, wild card.
Chargers?
It was the Chargers. Yeah, Chargers imploded. Texans in their 4:30 p.m. slot on Saturdays. As always, they find their way through. They go through. Go to the Chiefs. Obviously, fell short against the Chiefs. Obviously, depending on who you call for, they could say something's going on with it. The whole 10 yards. But on the third year of CJ Stroud following a sophomore slump last year, he's looking to make some sound waves and be the quarterback the Texans envision him to be. To the offense, a lot of new faces, new places. They trade Laramie Tunsil. They ship him up to the NFC East, the Commanders. Kenyon Green goes to the Philadelphia Eagles in exchange for C.J. Gardner-Johnson, who we'll talk about in a couple minutes. A lot of new pieces. Tank Dell obviously saw on the depth chart. I don't think he ends up playing this year. Very unfortunate knee injury a couple days before Christmas. Ended up staying in Kansas City for a little bit, recovering from surgery. Just an absolute explosion of that knee. But they do draft Jaden Higgins from Iowa State. They trade a 7th-round pick for Christian Kirk. Oh, my Lord. I had a Will moment there. Jalen Nolan, round 3. Justin Watson, who you know from the Chiefs, made some explosive plays as like that tight end 2, wide receiver 5 kind of deal. But they revamped the offensive line after ended up shipping everyone away. Cam Robinson, Laken Tomlinson, they acquire a new right tackle in the draft. Joe Mixon dealing with a foot injury. So obviously there's a lot of not positive news there for Joe Mixon and the Joe Mixon camp. But they do get Nick Chubb, who, hey, if Joe Mixon can't go through, Nick Chubb can slide in, do all that stuff. They really replenish the offensive line. Trent Brown comes in from Cincinnati, really depthful pieces. Jake Andrews from the Patriots. They trade for Ed Ingram from the Minnesota Vikings. I'm excited for this offense. I am.
2 fullbacks.
Obviously, one person not going to make it. Beck, their fullback, he ended up going to the Jets. So trying to find the replacement there at fullback.
Tell you what, for a team, this is kind of wild. I don't know what to say. So, right, we got what we got last year after saying, damn, like this is going to be such an elite team. Look what CJ Stroud did in just his rookie season. Like, I invested way too much into them because I said that he would be like elite and they would be sick and they'd be a top force. We got nothing of what we got from his rookie season. That was really tough. And we can say we've been just summing it up as like, oh, sophomore slump. Excuse. No, like, sophomore slump, whatever. He's fine. I don't know though, because what happens if they come out and
they fired the offensive coordinator after 2 years? It was kind of a shock because like guy got head coaching interviews with like the Commanders and the Jets and like all that stuff, and it just like they just outright dropped them. And DeMeco Ryan starting from scratch at the offensive side. But there is a lot of good hope there for Jaden Higgins. He's been making a lot of plays in training camp, a lot of good positive vibes. Yeah.
I mean, this is a good offense. Dudes on
I
here
just
are
don't
good.
like the complete overhaul of this
Yes.
offensive line. Like Stroud was killed last year, and they just decided, oh yeah, we're gonna trade away Tunsil, who's like our best piece. Ended up, fleecing the Dolphins for him, and then they just end up redoing everything.
Yeah.
Here we go. CJ Stroud, 4,000 passing yards, 25 touchdowns, 13 INTs, 200 rushing yards, and 2 touchdowns. I'm okay with that. I vibe with it.
I think Nick Chubb being there is cool. Like, even if they get extremely average Nick Chubb, it's still a good run game. That's something that they could rely on. That's cool. Wow. Oh yeah. All right. Damian Pierce is still there. So like, they have dudes.
They hate Damian Pierce though.
They have guys there. This is a deep wide receiver room, which we saw last year didn't mean shit.
Yeah.
I don't know, dude.
I want to see John Mechie. Like, let's get him involved. Like, second round pick, a lot of hype. Obviously, the cancer thing. He came back, and I would love to see a good part of the story where it's like, okay, hey, he could be a wide receiver too. Maybe he could be the slot guy on this team. Like, I want to see a good story with him.
I agree, and like, there's dudes everywhere. Irv Smith Jr. as the third string tight end is pretty solid. Like, there's so it's. Well, it's a third string. I mean,
Brevin Jordan. I didn't update this one, but Brevin Jordan, IR, knee injury, so he's out for the entire year. But hey, Cade Stover, let's not forget he massages the cows. Don't see that joke again, Dom, like you did last year.
I don't remember what I said last year.
No, not the only massage that happened in Houston.
Yeah, well, that's funny. I don't, because what happens? So if they come out and they're not good, they're not up to what we saw his rookie year. Does D'Amico Ryans, is he now in the hot seat?
No, I don't think he's on the hot seat. Obviously, like, you made the playoffs 2 years in a row. You won playoff games at home. So it's like, you're not really on the hot seat, but it's like, okay, like you got to figure out, okay, is it an offensive scheme with Stroud, or is it just Stroud himself that is like the degrading of play?
Okay. Yeah. I mean, if you don't think he's going to be in the hot seat, I'm okay with that.
Hey, like obviously that would have to be like an ownership thing or a GM thing from Caserio being like, okay, like this guy got to go. What, Slowick? I think that the offensive guy of last year. So that had to have been like an ownership thing, a GM thing. So like these were all his guys, and they were probably all a part of like that Niners crew. So let's I'm gonna shift us over to the defensive side of the football. Oh, that's the schedule side. There's the defensive side. As we mentioned before, CJ Gardner-Johnson, he did have a knee injury. It was thought to be a torn ACL. And ends up not. He could be on his way to playing week 1. Jimmy Ward's dealing with injury. They bring in Jalen Mills to kind of bolster that safety tandem. Man, I don't really know. Jalen Petre's still there. Lassinger's still there. Derek Stingley, he's making the big money there from that 2022 draft class. Man, Henry To'oTo'o. I'm just trying to get excited, man. Like, I don't know. There's just something about this defense that's just not sitting right with me, and I can't put a finger on it. I really can't. Like, yeah, Danielle Hunter, he got another extension with the Texans. I think it's another year, like fully guaranteed. Will Anderson's still there. I don't know. I'm trying my hardest. I'm trying to get excited, but I really think this could be like a very middle of the road defense. Nothing's popping out. Nothing's popping out with me.
They had a decent defense last year, actually, to be honest. Tell you what, man, did they let up yards in the playoffs? Holy, that is.
I mean, listen, when Lad McConkey gets 200 yards receiving against you, obviously you're letting up yards in the playoffs, but like they still ended up winning.
Yeah, but oh wait, sorry, wrong team. That was the Broncos. All right, they actually did not let up that many yards in the playoffs.
Okay, there we go.
The Broncos let up 471 yards in that game. That's crazy, dude. No, the Texans averaged like 236. Yeah, I don't know. Cool. This will be like you would think this is a decent defense. That's the issue, is you would think. And then they're not like top ever. But they're not bad. They're not bad. I think they're competent. Like this is they made some explosive plays. Stingley's great. Petrie was great. Alshier's fantastic. Daniel Hunter, you'd think does a little bit more, but whatever. Obviously, Will Anderson was great. I don't think Sheldon Rankins is that bad, so that's solid.
It's not like, listen, he was okay with the Bengals, but obviously that Bengals defense was abysmal. So obviously, I think D'Amico Ryan could get a lot more out of him. So
Hey, what that Jaguars dude on the current roster, he's not injured, so there's that. But
yeah,
it's wow. This one's so much different. Mario Edwards, that's wild. Yeah,
Jared Brownell on waivers, like.
Listen, I don't think it's that bad. I really don't. But I guess we'll see. I don't know. It's really hard to judge this team. It really is.
I just can't put my finger on this defense. Like, there's just something that doesn't sit right with me, and I can't figure it out. I just can't. Let's shift over. Final part here. Schedule.
Let's look at the schedule.
All right, schedule. Week 1, obviously the Rams in SoFi. That is a big battle going against potentially Matthew Stafford, maybe Jimmy G. Who knows what goes on with the Rams? But then you get home week 2, Tampa Bay. You obviously still have that sour. No, you don't have that sour taste in your mouth. You beat Tampa Bay. Baker Mayfield had a game of his career, and then C.J. Stroud said, "I'm gonna one-up you and have the best rookie game ever." That's what he did. Looking through it, like a lot of playoff teams. You have 3 before the bye. Then you obviously are playing a year ago 10-win Seahawk team, Niners team, which can probably be going back to their old ways. But 3 home games in a row is really good for you right in the middle of the season. But prime time Thursday night in Buffalo, right before Thanksgiving, that's going to be tough. Chiefs still. I can have 10 wins, but I'm having a really tough time.
Yeah,
finding 10.
I agree with that. That's exactly how I feel. Is I'm like hitting a wall trying to find 10 like legitimate wins, but they could do it if they look good. Like I really think that week 1 game is going to mean everything in the world. I think they need to come out. I think CJ Stroud needs to ball out that game and be like, I spent the whole offseason hearing sophomore slump, and that's all it was, and I'm back. Like, here we are. They need to show up in that week 1 game. That is everything. If they don't show up in that week 1 game, I'm like, all right, cool, 8 wins. I can't. We're done here. If they show up and CJ Stroud balls out and it looks like this team is back on track and it looks like they discounted last year and just said it was off year, cool, whatever, then, man, maybe, this is the guaranteed winner of the division and they put up double-digit wins again and we're happy. But I really do think that week 1 game against the Rams are going to mean everything.
Well said. It's either Matthew Stafford or Jimmy G.
And you know what? It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. It shouldn't matter to them. They just got to win. That's it. They got to come out, play real ball again.
What will make this team successful?
I think that if we could truly say CJ Stroud had a sophomore slump and that is all it is, and that's just the excuse for what last season was, and that's that. If we could put that behind us because they came out this year and played better than they ever played last year, I would call that successful, because in turn, you're going to get a playoff team out of this. This team's going to compete. Hopefully you win a playoff game, but like, as long as we're back on track and we can look to the year after to say, this is another force in the AFC for years to come, then I think we're back. We're here. This is a successful season again, and D'Amico Ryan's 3rd season on this team is a successful one, and we're just here. So I that's what makes it successful. I don't really need results. I just need to see the team we saw CJ Stroud's rookie year.
Yeah, you just got to see Stroud return the form.
Yeah.
No ifs, ands, or buts about it.
Because we were saying, and everyone was saying, hey, dude, you got the Chiefs, you got the Bengals, you got the Texans, you got so you were saying AFC, here are the Bills, here are the teams, they're the forces. The Texans are now one of them. And then they came out and played flat last year.
Mm-hmm.
So if we get back to the notion of this is an AFC force every year coming up in the future thing, then that's where we need to be. And I think we all want that. So
damn straight.
Especially in a really kind of a stale AFC where we've just kind of been seeing the same teams since COVID started. So it'd be kind of nice to see the Texans come out and be a fresh team on the scene again. I think we'd all be I think the world would be psyched about that.
Here we go.
Look at all the.
That's enough slices.
And I shuffled them. So whatever order they're in, they are in. Whatever. You ready?
Here we go. See, this is exciting. Instead of one half, it's like this. So it's like
what it's gonna land on. Look at this. Ready?
It's so glitchy. I can't even tell which one we're landing on here. We don't have to talk about the West first. I'm so excited.
Yeah, we get to do our favorite division in the Colton's favorite division in the world.
Colton's favorite team, the Atlanta Falcons. Obviously, the NFC. His favorite team in the AFC is the Baltimore Ravens. It's just that in a nutshell.
Look at that.
Jeez, finally, we can end this tour. Last year, we did a double episode to begin the tour, and then we end this year with a double episode. So, what are you doing there?
I don't know. I was going to try to hide the NFC South, but I'd have to click them all. I'm not going to do that.
Well, that's our show. You can follow us on all the social media platforms down below. YouTube for the Fan Network, TikTok for the Fan Network, Instagram for the Fan Football, X for the Fan _. I did those out of order, but yeah, you can find us on your local podcasting platform. Upload these episodes separately on YouTube. Find us on the YouTube. Pretty fun over there. But yeah, next week we have 8 teams, and it's going to take us probably 3 hours to do because the Falcons are going to take up 2 hours of it. Realistically.
I hope so. I want nothing more than that.
For Colton's sake, it has to.
I hope they took up 2 hours and then all the rest teams combined take
10 minutes.
Yeah,
10 minutes.
It'd be so fantastic.
We'll be going through as to why every player on the Falcons is named exactly why. Everything from that.
We'll be looking at
We'll be having a spelling bee of every single team until we all understand their name.
We're going to be looking at their horoscopes, trying to predict the season.
Their favorite food, what they had for lunch in the 3rd grade. We're figuring it all out. Why Michael Penix is a lefty and not a righty. We're figuring it all out here. Listen, we're going to just show you footage of inverted video of him as a righty, and it's going to look normal.
There you go. His handwriting, because he's a lefty, that could matter,
You never know.
You never know.
But yes, we don't want to get too ahead of ourselves. We're very excited for this episode. Well, episodes.
Colton's very excited for this episode.
Colton's very excited. All right, I'm going to get a text saying, kick rocks, eat it. It's going to curb stop me into a curb. But hey, I'm Will, and that's Dom. We are For the Fan. Tune in next week. The big division spectacular finale happens now. Well, next week, obviously, not now. Duh. Everyone, enjoy your day.